our natural God-given birthright sent as a man, testosterone, or more precisely, androstenone. The combination of having a seductive voice and also be sweet smelling to the opposite sex has a profound effect on your capacity to attract your ideal mate. Now, I am going to introduce you for the first time only, or maybe the first time continually, to my Kindle library, ladies and gentlemen. Well, gentlemen specifically, but ladies, you're also welcome. Please, please, please do let me know if this is a valuable addition to the content I create, gentlemen. So please now comment down below if you feel it would be valuable for me to share selective and poignant chapters and pieces of information from the books that I read, because I read a lot of books, physical books and Kindle books, as you'll see in just a moment, on what I believe are very, very selectively potent pieces of information that have the capacity to change dynamics in your life. So please let me know in the comment sections below. But first, I'm going to begin with a quote from Josh Strauss. The human voice is the most beautiful instrument of them all, but it is the most difficult one to play. Now, I just want to add on to that before I go into this particular chapter here, because you have to remember your voice is unique. Nobody else has your voice. And if you are able to exercise it, similarly to you'd exercise a muscle, you can fully flesh it out and develop it to a point where it is extraordinarily powerful. And the scarcity of such a powerful voice can be very, very attractive to the opposite sex, because scarcity breeds value. So researchers at UCL found that deep voices command more respect and are more memorable than high-pitched voices. Deep voices were also found to resonate more with women. The UCL researchers concluded that women find deep voices attractive because deep voices appear to signal that a man possesses higher levels of testosterone. The study also noted that deep voices, when tempered with a breathy quality, were rated as more attractive because these voices signaled lower levels of hostility and aggression. Breathy voices, breathy. You're breathing deeper here, and this is part of the practical exercises that you're going to have to employ in order to cultivate such a breathy, deep voice. An excellent way to develop a more commanding and authoritative voice is to take slow, deep breaths and speak from your diaphragm as opposed to speaking from your throat. So most men tend to speak from the throat or directly from the mouth without utilizing the full power of their diaphragm. So all of your attention should be in your belly area and not from your chest, not from your throat, and certainly not from your nose. Nobody likes that kind of nasally sound. It needs to come lower. It needs to resonate deeper and lower into your body. When you are feeling tense or nervous, your muscles will automatically tighten and it constricts everything. And your breathing will become fast and shallow. The result is a high-pitched speaking voice. If you find yourself in a stressful or uncomfortable situation where you need to communicate, it is important to make a conscious effort to slow your breathing and relax your muscles, especially around your shoulders. I would add in the chest, I would add in the neck, and I would also add in the belly. In the belly, a lot of people get tight, knotted abdomens and bellies and organs. So make sure that you're breathing out, going into parasympathetic response and allowing yourself to relax. Speaking directly from your diaphragm helps to ensure your voice comes out in its full, natural tone, which most women find seductive. So that is part one, gentlemen, to this two-part, I suppose, a practical application of becoming more attractive through sound and also through smell. So what you can hear and also what you can smell. So the second part is smell is the sense of memory and desire. Wonderful. So since Roman times, men have adorned themselves with scents and fragrances to attract the attention of beautiful women. Indeed, what every man wants is to know whether or not there's a magical scent he can use to attract women with ease. In the world of fragrances, chemical compounds, especially ones pertinent to a brand of Christian Dior called Hedwine, is iconic in their fragrance Eau Sauvage. We found to stimulate an area of the brain in women responsible for the release of certain sex hormones. Hedwine is now found in many well-known fragrances like CK1, Paco Rabanne, all these contemporaries that you can see here on the screen. However, there is another type of smell that is even more powerful than this one, our natural God-given birthright scent as a man, testosterone, or more precisely, androstenedione. Androstenedione is a pheromone derived from testosterone, which naturally occurs in higher levels in men. So how exactly does androstenedione work and what does it do? A fascinating study published in Nature Neuroscience found that female mice, when exposed to the smell of dominant alpha mice, underwent a form of neurological changes in 48 hours. After being exposed to these alpha mice, the female mice would refuse to have anything to do with the more beta or omega mice. The brains of the female mice had essentially been rewired to attach and mate exclusively with the alpha mice who exclusively secrete androstenedione. There is evidence to suggest that women react in the same way when exposed to this scent in the equivalent in human beings. And this has a powerful effect in the brains of women, which has been known to trigger cortisol. Now, cortisol is a stress hormone, but in the cases recorded here in the studies, it is inducing a euphoria, shedding inhibition, and reducing uncertainty and psychological concerns regarding a sexual partner. Another study published in the Journal of Hormones Behavior found that women who were exposed to androstenedione for an approximate 15 minutes would become subtly more attentive, aroused, and happier, higher quality emotion, positive emotion. With this research in mind, let's take a look at some of the natural ways you can use to increase this reoccurring hormone in your body. First and foremost, there's a lot of trite and cliche things here that, of course, you guys should be doing already, but getting good sleep and rest. I did a biological, what would you call it? A biohacking video a couple of days ago, many weeks ago now, that talks about how to optimize this. So look at that, which also includes consuming good minerals and vitamins like zinc and magnesium. Vitamin D here, but magnesium is a really important one to minimize stress. And cortisol is actually the #1 killer of testosterone. So make sure that you are taking your magnesium, which is the natural, what would you say, the mineral that relaxes. It's often called the relaxation mineral. So make sure you're getting some magnesium threonate or glycinate or whatever the equivalent is nowadays for yourself. Eating a healthy diet with sufficient protein, and I would also stress healthy fats, peanuts, butter, olive oil, avocados, almonds, red meat, eggs, dark chocolate, organ meats as well. Reduce your alcohol consumption, reduce excess body fat, intermittent fasting to spike human growth hormone, work out in the gym focusing on compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, bench presses in high intensity interval training indeed. It is also advisable to include garlic in your diet, as a team of researchers in the Czech Republic discovered that men who regularly consume 1 or 2 cloves of garlic a day smell more attractive to women. And one of the fundamental reasons for that is that garlic destroys a lot of the microorganisms, the bacteria in your gut and in your system, meaning you're not smelling terribly. And a final study published by the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found that men who use a scented fragrance in a day-to-day life feel more attractive and confident comparatively to men who do not at all. Now, I know there is some contention about some of these perfumes and fragrances and aftershaves messing with your hormones and can be endocrine disrupting. I understand that. However, I would select a more friendly and natural version in relation to that, because it's not just effect as a direct consequence of wearing the fragrance, but also a psychological one of knowing you as a man are going out there feeling good, having more positive emotion, being more confident, and knowing that if you are going to approach a woman that, hey, you smell good. Because women all rated men who wore fragrances comparatively to men who don't, found them more attractive, even though women had no way of knowing from watching the video whether or not the men were wearing a fragrance or not. So the men's body language and how they are walking, talking, acting, and behaving, moving their skeleton, means that they are portraying themselves in a more attractive way to women. Their body language is signaling fertility, attractiveness, confidence, all the things that are congruent with attracting a high quality partner. So the researchers claim that men who wore fragrance must also have acted in this similar manner. It's also perhaps noted that if you apply a cologne that has hedonine in, a powerful combination takes place with you smelling good, behaving good, and also sounding good if you are exercising that diaphragmatic control, deep breathing, and that breathy quality as well, perhaps. Maybe I'm forcing it a little bit there, but hopefully you can understand what I'm talking about there, gentlemen. So please let me know again, please, my friends. I've said please twice. I'm not going to say a third time because it's desperately embarrassing. If you feel like this was valuable, if you would like to see more from my private Kindle library and the more exclusive, pertinent, and potent insights that I have highlighted that I believe have changed the way that I walk and talk and experience life and experience more positive emotions. And these are not theories today, gentlemen. These are facts. Speak very soon. Take care.